Welcome to Speidel's Federal Tax Minute. I'm your host, Catherine Sedan. This week we're covering new and updated Form 1099-K FAQs that the IRS recently released. Register for Speidel's Federal Tax Update on December 18th and 19th and be prepared for tax season. Go to speidel.com and click webinars to see a full list of topics covered and to register. The IRS has updated its 1099-K FAQs to reflect changes made by the One Big Beautiful Bill Act and provide additional clarifications and examples. As a result of the changes made by OBBBA, payment apps and online marketplaces like third-party settlement organizations are only required to issue 1099-Ks for goods and services sold during a calendar year through their platforms if the gross amount of reportable payment transactions to the taxpayer exceeds $200,000 and the number of transactions exceeds 200. Form 1099-K can still be issued by a third-party settlement organization even if these thresholds are not met. This could occur if there is backup withholding, if a state has lower thresholds, etc. The payor is also allowed to issue Form 1099 even if the thresholds are not met. Payors may want to consider issuing Form 1099 even if the payment is below the filing threshold to assist a payee to qualify for the qualified tips deduction. This applies to 1099 NEC, 1099 MISC, and 1099-K filers. No threshold requirement exists for payment card companies, which means Forms 1099-K are required to be sent by payment card companies if they receive even 1 cent for goods and services provided by the taxpayer. Payment cards include credit cards, debit cards, and gift cards. Like before, whether or not a payment is reported on Form 1099-K, all income received for goods or services, no matter the amount, is taxable unless a specific exception applies, for example, gifts, basis, reimbursements, etc. Taxable income has to be reported on the taxpayer's return, even if it's not reported on Form 1099-K or another information return. If a taxpayer receives an incorrect 1099-K and can't get the issuer to send a corrected one, beginning with the 2024 taxable year, the amount reported on Form 1099-K should be included on Form 1040 Schedule 1 on the line provided above Part 1. The new FAQs that the IRS recently released clarify that if a transaction is reportable on both Forms 1099 MISC or 1099 NEC and 1099-K, it should only be reported on Form 1099-K. The FAQs also address how to report personal online ticket sales, for which the gain or loss from each transaction has to be reported separately. And the FAQs address how to report proceeds from the sale of personal items sold at a loss or reported on multiple 1099-Ks or an erroneous 1099-K. For these transactions, all sales can be combined and reported on Schedule 1 on the line provided above Part 1. Get tax planning moves for individuals, estates, and businesses before 2025 closes with Speidel's 2-hour on-demand webinar advising clients in a post-OBBBA world tax planning strategies for 2025. You can see topics covered and get registered at speidel.com under webinars. That's all for this week. Join us next time for another episode of Speidel's Federal Tax Minute.